Ladies and gentlemen, good day and welcome to Q1 FY26 earnings conference call of Subex Limited. As a reminder, all participant lines will be in the listen-only mode, and there will be an opportunity for you to ask questions after the presentation concludes. Should you need assistance during the conference call, please signal an operator by pressing star and then 0 on your touch-tone phone. Please note that this conference is being recorded. I would now like to hand over the floor to Mr. Ramu. Thank you, and over to you, sir.
Thank you very much. Good evening to everyone. We have joined the earnings call for the quarter ended June 30th, 2025. Now I would like to introduce the members of the management who are present for the call. Ms. Nisha Dutt, Managing Director and CEO, Mr. Sumit Kumar, CFO, and Mr. Harsha Angeri, Head Corporate Strategy and AI, and myself, Ramu Akkili, Company Secretary and Compliance Officer. I would like to start the conference call by going through the safe harbor clause. Certain statements in this presentation concerning our future growth process are forward-looking statements which involve several risks and uncertainties that could cause actual results to differ materially from those in such forward-looking statements. The risks and uncertainties relating to these statements include, but are not limited to, fluctuations in earnings, our ability to successfully integrate acquisitions, competition in our areas of business, client concentration, liability for damages in our contracts, withdrawal of tax incentives, political instability, unauthorized use of our intellectual property, and general economic conditions affecting our industry. So with this, I now hand over the call to Ms. Nisha Dutt to take it forward.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Subex's investor call. Thank you for joining us today as I share updates for Q1. You must have seen the results by now. I would say the results are mixed. Our Q1 results are subdued from a top-line perspective. Our business has always been H2 heavy, but one of the key reasons for muted Q1 is that there was slow order intake in the last financial year. If you remember, I mentioned it a few times. Our deals got shifted from quarter to quarter due to various budgetary and geopolitical reasons. And we did not close deals as per schedule. So what that does is it has an impact on the subsequent quarters and the way we take our revenue. But however, now I think that things have started to move and our order intake is getting back on track. We also have a strong pipeline which gives me confidence that we shall make up for the shortfall in subsequent quarters. Last year also brought some OI challenges, but we stayed focused on profitability. We have been EBITDA positive and delivered profits in 6 of the 7 quarters. This quarter, as you all know, PAT is back in black, helped by tax refund and office optimization. And our cash position, you have seen it, it's significantly stronger thanks to sharper working capital management and one-time income gains. Q1 was a strong start. We landed a major tier 1 win in the Middle East. A clear step forward in priority growth market. Managed services business continues to deliver with consistency, driving recurring revenues quarter after quarter. We renewed our AI-based MS contract with a tier 1 operator in Africa. So wins like this build momentum, and it also validates our strategy and position us to capture strong tailwinds in high potential markets. So all these wins have been in our clear, priority geographic areas. We also continue to invest in next-gen products. I'm sure that most of you must have caught some of the announcements that we made. We recently launched FraudSwap, a lightweight AI-powered fraud detection platform. This product is mainly targeted to tier 3 telcos and MVNOs and customers with specific single use case requirements. For this segment, the ask is clear. They need solutions that are lightweight, cost-effective, and easy to deploy. So that's exactly what we are delivering, an AI-first approach with minimal total cost of ownership and near zero deployment effort. So it's a plug-and-play model designed to bring value quickly without the complexity or overhead of traditional systems. And we are beginning to add new pipeline in this area. And as Subex, this is a little bit of a departure from the way we generally build and deliver products. We also announced recently that our HyperSense platform is now Gen AI enabled. We have embedded Gen AI into our platform. Customer experiences are changing across applications, and thanks to Gen AI, we are able to, add applications which are conversational and enable that experience in Hypersense. So Hypersense can now continuously learn, adapt, and unlock new use cases as foundational AI models advance. So this is, I would say, not just an evolution. I think this is a major leap forward in how fraud management and revenue assurance will be delivered in future. And as you are aware, we had unveiled agents also during MWC in Barcelona. So we continue to work on POCs with telcos on these investigative agents. In Q1, we also had the opportunity to attend DTW Ignite in Copenhagen, and I'm happy to share some exciting news. This is where our Catalyst project, so we had participated in a Catalyst project, and it was called Quality of Trust, Eliminating Spam and Enabling Growth. So this was well received, and we were recognized as one of the front runners in this. So this recognition is especially meaningful because it reflects the support and validation from our peers and broader industry. So this is not just any other award. This is where your peers actually evaluate you and score you. So this was especially meaningful to us. It reinforces our mission to help telcos build customer trust and enhance a user experience by taking a proactive approach. So combating spam and scam. So you've heard me say this before. We are focused on making sure that we expand our fraud and assurance portfolio on emerging next-gen use cases. So we are not just talking about AI when we take it to market for our customers. We are also internalizing it and operationalizing it. Internally, we have deployed GenAI within our engineering team through initiatives like Code Shield Workshop, using GitHub Copilot to improve test coverage, reduce defects in our products, accelerate release cycles. So we are building what I think of almost as AI native workflows to future-proof our innovation engine. So if I were to kind of, sum up Q1, I would say that it brought some headwinds, but we have responded with focus, resilience, and clear plan forward. You will see that we had some struggles on the top line, but we are more than compensated on the bottom line. So fundamentals are strengthening, order momentum is building, profitability is consistent, and our innovation roadmap is aligned with where the market is going. And that gives me a lot of hope for the way the year will unfold. So next I shall cover the consolidated financial results for Q1. All the numbers are in INR. Revenue for the quarter stood at 664 million as against 706 million for the previous quarter. Normalized EBITDA for the quarter is at 43 million as against 53 million for the previous quarter. Normalized PAT for the quarter is at 128 million as against negative 6.6 million for the previous quarter. PAT for the quarter is at 128 million as against negative 176 million including exceptional items in the previous quarter. So thanks for listening, and now as always I brace for the real action, your questions and comments.
Thank you, ma'am. Ladies and gentlemen, we will now begin the question and answer session. If you have a question, please press star and 1 on your telephone keypad and wait for your turn to ask the question. If you would like to withdraw your request, you may do so by pressing star and 1 again. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have any questions, please press star and 1 on your telephone keypad. The first question comes from Jitendra Bhutoria, an individual investor. Please go ahead.
Good evening.
Hello.
Hello. Good evening.
Yes, we can hear you. Please go ahead.
Yeah. So now I could see this time at least we have reduced the losses on the that sectorial thing, and it seems that we have turned a bit profitable. So my question was, there were last Concall, we discussed there were 2 contracts, long-term contracts in the sectorial, wherein one was closed out and the receivables were provided for. And the second contract you were trying to close out the pre-closure, because since that was a 3-year long-term contract. So I would like to know what is the status of that pre-closure, one. Secondly, as of now, how many employees are still working with sectorial? Because at that point of time, there were 57 employees, and then you said it will be scaled down to about 25 and then further down. So what is the status on that? You can tell me.
Okay. So in terms of contract, you're right. There were two contracts. The first one we provided for last quarter, and we continue to try and recover that amount. So that track is ongoing. The second contract, again, we don't have any exposure there per se, but what we are trying to do is exit that contract. The negotiations have started with a potential customer, and not potential, sorry, the customer. Negotiations have started, and we continue to negotiate our way out of that. Because as you can imagine, these are contracts that also have implications for the customer, and they have to find an alternate vendor. So these are not very straightforward negotiations. So it's taking some time, but we are in active negotiations right now. So I guess short answer to the thing is that we are not closed that yet. We are still in the middle of negotiations. In terms of employee strength, you are right, we were at 57. Currently, as we stand, we are at 2 employees. We are down to 2 employees.
Down to?
2.
2 people?
Yes.
Okay, so that's really great. Now my next question is, now you have proposed investment in this SME, Subex Middle East, this thing, about some 35 crores.
Sorry, I didn't catch that.
Yeah, you have made you are proposing an investment in Subex Middle East, right?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Now, some 35 crore rupees, I suppose.
Right.
Now, right now, the net worth of this Subex Middle East is negative by about 34 crores, what I could understand. So is it the reason that, in order to get further orders, you would like to have that company net worth positive first and then capital inflow so that you can grow accordingly? So what are your plans on that?
Yeah, so this is Subex here. You're bang on that. First is to just make this, capitalize that entity, because there are certain orders coming to that entity and it has to be net worth positive. So that's the thing, that's the plan. And then the funds will flow.
So what are your plans basically? How would you like to scale up that, once you have put in this 35 crore infusion into that company?
So again, it's a strategic thing whereby a lot of customers are interested into that market, and as per the business is more about it's hosted out of our subsidiaries, and one of the key subsidiaries are Middle East entity. And we are going into that market, and for that we need to invest into that entity, and that's how it is. That's the plan.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. The next question comes from Mahesh Kumar, an individual investor. Please go ahead.
Yeah, good evening. I have 2 questions. First question is, what is the target addressable market for fraud app, and how many POCs you are doing at the moment, and how many POCs you have completed? That is the first question. Second question is, now you are saying you are building the pipeline for the products. So what is your roadmap for providing AI to the telecom? Is there a thought process to venture into other enterprise AIs? So these 2 questions.
Okay. So I think we are doing 1 POC right now on FraudSwap, and we have 1 more lined up. So that's kind of, as you can imagine, we have just launched. So I think given that we have 2 in the bag is a good start for us. In terms of total addressable market, I think it's similar to, what fraud market is actually. Not the overall fraud market, but the specific one that FraudSwap will solve. So this is more of a single use case thing, right? It will go to MPNs.
Last year, in conference calls, you have mentioned that the handset fraud product has been launched using AI.
Correct.
Okay. So how many orders you have received till now after 1 year? You told you have done some POCs on that handset
fraud. Yes. Actually, handset fraud, I mean, I can't, honestly, I don't have the number at the top of my head, but at least we have 3 that we have already done. In fact, we have received revenues. These are not POCs. This is like a full-blown commercial engagement that we have on handset fraud. Top of my mind, I already know 3, of course, that we have worked with, and all the 3 are tier 1 actually.
So they are now currently paid customers?
Yes, they are.
Now this fraud that is targeting what is trying to solve which problem?
You want to take on, Harsha, maybe?
Yeah, this is Harsha here. So, what we have seen in the market is that given the evolution of fraud, a lot of telcos, especially smaller telcos and MVNOs, are focused on solving only certain use cases for which they don't want a full-fledged solution. So that is where Fraud Zap is targeted. Now, Fraud Zap, the way it works is it will solve a single use case. And the first use case we are focused on is handset fraud or device fraud, how you call it. And like Nisha mentioned, we've already delivered in 3 telcos this device fraud. And now we have a pipeline where we will just deliver this single use case. It's not a full-fledged fraud management solution. But what we have also now seen as the interest is even in the larger telcos where they want to very quickly add a certain new use case without going through, again, procuring or upgrading a full-fledged fraud management solution. So that is where, again, there is interest in Fraud Zap. But for a single use case.
What is the market size for that?
So market size, the device fraud itself will be in the $2 to $3 billion range. But I think amongst overall fraud, this is growing at about almost 18% CAGR or so. So it's a high growth fraud segment. It is part of the overall fraud landscape itself.
No, if it is a $2 billion market, why we are not able to get customers? What is the problem?
No, we are getting customers like Nisha mentioned.
It is not reflected in the revenue. The revenue stagnated for last 8 quarters.
No. I mean, we are doing this work and this is a part of the revenue that you see, right? So, last year we had significant order intake challenges. But despite that, if you look at the revenue, it's not sort of, declined sharply, right? It's kind of holding. And it's holding because some of these things are
legacy business. Your old customers are still sticky with that and that is not going. See, that is constant 60 crore, 66 crore for last 10 years.
No, actually, not that one customer will continue to give, continue to give you money for the next 10 years or 15 years, right? That's not how contracts work. What happens is that there is a spike when you implement a contract. So your revenue recognition from a specific customer goes for 2 or 3 years. And then there is an AMC, which is obviously minimal, right? AMC is not where you make a lot of money. And I think also we have to remember that a lot of things that we were delivering legacy way, right? So it's not that handset fraud was not ever getting solved. It was getting solved in a very, I would say, clunky way, in a rules-driven way, right? Now it has moved completely. The velocity of how you solve that fraud has completely changed with GenAI. So what we are trying to do is that we are shifting that. So what you are seeing is the quality of revenue is shifting now, right? It's become more AI. It's a lot more that we are moving away from clunky things. That does not mean that there is, it's a next new thing that, which was never solved, we are solving that. It's not that. But now that we can solve it with a great velocity, then now you can go to market faster with it. Because you don't need a platform, for instance, to solve this anymore. You can actually be very lightweight and still solve it. So there is a different approach to this.
Okay. And what is the roadmap for the new product pipeline that you have been mentioning? You are building the pipeline. So what are the problem areas, your pain points of the customers you are trying to address with these AI-first solutions?
I think it's a mix of a lot of assurance and revenue fraud use cases. Primarily, I would say things like device fraud. We are doing subscription fraud. We might do API-based fraud. So there is a whole roadmap that we have on the frauds, different kinds of frauds that we want to solve for customers. We also have similar pipeline, or I would say roadmap on the assurance cases that we want to do using GenAI agents. So there is a roadmap that we are following right now, and we will be using GenAI to pretty much launch this, like billing anomaly, API based. So there is a lot of roadmap that we have created. So we have it internally, and we are following that.
Okay. So when the growth is likely to come? The main is growth. That growth is not happening.
I agree with you. I mean, that has been a little bit of disappointment even for us that, we have been able to control the bottom line. I think growth is something obviously I would say all over Subex, we are really working very hard to make sure that the top line also starts moving because bottom line, I think we have a fairly good control right now on the cost and, the bottom line aspect of it. The top line is something that we are really hard, working very hard to make sure that we keep improving.
No, it is not improving. Is it that your customer facing?
This quarter, like I said, see when the way our business works is it works on backlogs, correct? So obviously,
but there is a decline compared to year on year. Also, there is a decline.
Yeah, that's why because year on year,
it is actually flat.
So if it is flat means it is decline only. If you take the inflation and all other currency variation, it is a decline.
Yes, that means. Yeah.
So what I'm asking, what is the problem? Is the problem with the customer-facing employees that you are not able to grow the business?
I mean, it's as you can imagine, Mahesh, it's rarely one thing, right? So it's usually a combination of things that are, not working. But we are obviously, and we are acutely cognizant of the fact that this is a problem and we are doing everything within our power to solve this problem right now. So completely aware of it, and I also understand, shareholders' disappointment on the growth aspect. We are equally disappointed as management. So we are working very hard to solve that, but it's rarely one thing, right? I mean, to say that
if you have to take,
it's only a customer-facing person, I think
if
that
if customer-facing problem.
Okay, sorry, go on. It's oversimplification of the problem.
If customer-facing employees are not delivering, you have to take a tough decision.
Which we have taken. Actually, this is not something that you will see us hesitate at all. In fact, I don't hesitate on these decisions at all. These decisions
have supported
taken.
Taking out IoT, taking out your ID Central, but
exactly.
on main business we are not growing.
No. I mean, Mahesh, a lot of hard decisions have been taken in the last 2 years. We have shut down businesses. We have exited, contracts.
Business shutdown is okay.
What happens? Done. So we are hardly the people who will not take hard decisions. But what I'm saying is that growth is not such a straightforward thing in the sense that if I just change the, sales guy, it will just, suddenly start growing. It's not. That's an oversimplification of that problem. So
no,
there are some
if there is a talent problem and the customer-facing employees. See, I'm trying to understand the problem which is not able to deliver the growth.
So Mahesh, just to add, as you know that it is a bit of a order book business. It is not like a retail, you just go and convert that into revenue. So you should appreciate the fact, and what Nisha has told last year and in her speech also, we had seen a lower order book, okay, which eventually is impacting and translating into the revenue now. And that's how the entire exercise last year, last couple of years is to how to make us relevant and become as a profitable. So that we have demonstrated. And the revenue side, as revenue in the market itself is bit of a shifting with new GenAI and other things are coming, and we are now answering to the market with the launch of our new product suits. And probably, and this piece is the revenue is quick because it's a lighter implementation. And once we prove our POCs, which we have proved on our handset fraud and other aspects around, the revenue will be faster and we'll start looking the growth there. And as a management team, we acknowledge like we have not shown a growth, but yeah, this is what as a team we are working towards to make this happen. Yeah.
Okay, I will join the queue for another question. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. The next question comes from Chirag Kacharia from Ashika Group. Please go ahead.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, you are.
So I have a two broad question. The first, in continuation of one of the previous participants, like the growth is not coming, okay, and we are developing products and new initiatives also in the place in the company. So just want to understand what is our ground strategy to, empanel more and more clients and initiate the sales engine and push the sales engine. If you can throw some detailed qualitative insight, like as a strategist within organization, what they are doing and how they conveying, to motivate the employees to push the sales, and also what sort of communication and discussion ongoing with the clients to move up the needle of the sales engine. And second, in filing, we mentioned that we are investing around 34 to 35 CR in the one of our subsidiary, which is owned by 100% by the parent. So, and that is mainly for the working capital need to fund the growth. So, what top line multiplier from that 32 to 35 CR kind of capital we are expecting, and by what time? Yeah, just these two questions. You can elaborate in detail.
Okay. I can take the first one, then I'll request Sumit to talk to you about the 35 crore investment in the Middle East entity. So I think in terms of growth, right, like I was explaining to Mahesh also. So first of all, all of us need to kind of be, just to give some context setting, right? When you launch a product, you don't eat the fruit the moment you plant a seed, right? You have to give it some time for it to grow, for it to get traction, and for it to start yielding fruit. So this is our attempt. So why are we then doing this, right? There is twofold attempt. One is we need to make sure that we are keeping our customers current. But more importantly, I want to get into a product line where the deployment, like I said, the deployment cycles are very short or almost, I would say, negligible, right? What that does is that it makes for quicker revenue. So I don't have a product that I have to go install, sit before I can, take subscription. So we are also trying to get into, because with GenAI, we have an ability today to build and deploy products much more faster than we did in past. So we are trying to be a part of that wave and to see if we can launch a host of or a suite of point solutions that customers can use and deploy very quickly, and revenues can start flowing. Again, these are not things that will give you $1 million revenues and all that, but then this is, what I would say is, the velocity is very high. These are high velocity products, which have been missing in generally Subex's portfolio. Subex has always been about a little bit of implementation heavy business. So we are trying to change that product mix a little bit. So that's one thing. The second is, we need to kind of, be, when we say that we are an assurance and fraud business, we need to make sure that we are solving the next problem, right? And as you can imagine, the fraud is completely changed. It's more digital fraud now. All of us experience it day to day. So I cannot sit here and solve frauds of yesterday, right? So I need to solve it, what's coming down the pipeline, and that has to be solved through GenAI. Now, coming back to the growth challenge, it is a little bit complex, is what I was trying to explain to Mahesh as well. So it's not that if I change the sales guys, the growth will come automatically. It does not work like that. These are long product cycles. These are long sales cycles. Our sales cycles are almost to the tune of 9 months to 1 year that you have to nurture accounts. Most of it is RFP driven. So an RFP that gets launched to the closure of the RFP actually takes good 8 to 9 months. So this is not something that is very quick action. So since last year our order intake was a little bit anemic, what that has done is we are essentially in the business where when I sell something, then I eat, from it for next 3 or 4 years. So if my orders got moved quarter to quarter, my revenue also subsequently, or, I would say in same proportion, starts getting moved. So that is the relationship here. So, and like I said, now our order booking seems to be coming back on track, which means that in subsequent quarters we'll be able to make up for it. But the fact that does not take away from the fact that it does have an implication. So if our deals start getting moved, it does have an implication on our top line. In growth challenge, I know that we have been stuck in a certain range for a while. It's also true, but I would say that, this is something that we need new products to take to our telcos. We almost have, we have a lot of new products to take through the pipe. So we have 150 telcos with us. If we can offer them new things, then I think this is going to be a win-win for us. So yes, we seem to be running into some amount of growth challenge, but one that I think will be, over this quite quickly. So I think stay with us. This is something that we know how to solve. It's taking us some time, but we'll get there. We know what the challenge is right now. And it's a mix of, the frontline teams. It's a mix of products. It's a mix of our market. It's a mix of how do you, your conversion cycles. So there are a few factors at play here, and we are trying to find that balance, which will put us on, a healthier trajectory as far as growth is concerned. Do you want to answer the 35 crore question?
Yeah. So again, as I explained, this is more about so how we do a business. We have a front companies which is like specifically for Middle East. We have a Middle East entity. They do end contracting with the customer. So it is kind of a marketing unit whereby they take the contract, then there is a sales force attached, then there is some of the field guys are attached, and entire work is happened out of the India. So it's a bit of a global transfer pricing arrangement between two subsidiaries or the companies around, and the work happens. So now historically this entity is slightly had a net worth issue, and because of that there's a contracting issues was happening. So now we are just funding this company. The working capital cycles remain same in the sense group working capital is hovering around 90, DSO as such is hovering around 98 to 100 days around. So we are there it's a control thing, and it will be more about the intercompany funding around on this company. So this is what. So as such the working capital framework remains same. It is bit of making this entity viable enough to pick the customer contract to hold this up. Yeah.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have any questions, please press star and 1 on your telephone keypad. I request the participants to restrict with 2 questions in the initial round and join back the queue for more questions. The next question comes from Sanjot Gare, an individual investor. Please go ahead.
Hello, good evening. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Hi, Sanjot.
Yeah, hi, good evening. So first of all, really a great work. Congratulations on this tough market. At least the operating performance is improving. That's a good part. We are seeing telco revenue is still flat. And you mentioned that there is some deal spillover happened from probably last quarter to probably this quarter. The spillover, does that mean that some closures didn't happen in last quarter and it should be happening in this quarter? If that's the case, then if you can share more detail on this deal, whether size or when it will be effective to get revenues. And I also want to understand how the business scenario looks now. I mean, is it the tariff part is still impacting, the decisions are taking longer time, or are you seeing the improvements in closures, or at least customer discussions are getting better compared to last quarter?
So what we are seeing is, so first of all, yes, I think our deal closure velocity has improved, definitely significantly improved compared to last year, the challenges that we were facing. Some we have announced, some of them we haven't announced but put it in the investor deck because for me it's like, business as usual, and we usually only announce the significant ones. So in that sense, we have not made announcements, but you will see in the investor deck that we have mentioned a few there. So that's there. I think in terms of decisions and all that, we are seeing 2 things, challenges. One is whether, decisions are still slow because telcos themselves, if you look at it, they have those challenges, right? They are only growing from, I would say about 2% globally. So it's not that telcos themselves have high growth right now. So telcos themselves have quite a bit of challenges at their end. And when they have challenges, a lot of it is obviously, going to percolate down to us. So I would say that there are those challenges. There are 2, 3 other kinds of things that we are facing. One is in some geographies, I would not say it's a tariff, but it's a currency issue that we are seeing. What that means is that I have the deal, but I may not be able to. There might be currency challenge because that country may not have USD or that country may not have euros or USD. or fixed currencies to give us. So I think in hard currencies. So we are seeing that sometimes we do have deals, but we are having to sort of, really take our time to decide whether we want to pick those deals up or not because of hard currency challenges. So I think that challenge continues. I've seen that becoming a little acute over last year and this year. So there are deals that we could have technically picked up, which we are sort of shying away from. So that's one challenge which we are trying to overcome. The second one that I'm seeing more and more is that there is a lot of margin pressure on deals. So what's happening is that customers they are not postponing the decisions, but they are elongating the decision. So for instance, in an RFP, typically, a deal would get closed with one BAFO round, right? I mean, they would ask all the vendors to do a BAFO, which is best and final offer. Typically, one or two BAFOs and the deal would be closed. They would pick someone, award and move on. Now, more and more, I'm seeing that in deals, people are going to 4 or 5 BAFOs. But what that does is that it keeps elongating the decision time, right? So it's not that they are not making a decision, but now, every BAFO takes 2 weeks. So every BAFO takes 2 weeks. If they are doing 4 or 5 BAFOs, then that's 10 weeks short right there, actually. So we are seeing some of those things which are, again, I think it's the nature of the beast. We just have to deal with it. But so these are the challenges that I'm seeing, not directly tariff per se. I think tariff and indirectly what we are dealing with is the currency impact. There are some countries that may not have the hard currencies. Now the currency reserves are running low. So that's a sort of, it's an indirect thing. It's not direct. So yeah, I mean, if that answers your question, that's the kind of dynamic that we are seeing in the market play out right now.
Sure. And in this quarter, I think some 14 crore, I think has been considered as a part of tax refund, I think, for in the Q1. And total tax refund was, I think, received is 34 crore. So is it remaining 24 or 20 crore will be recognized in the next quarter?
No. So, see, the tax refund has 2 components. One is the interest which we got. Another is the principal associated with that. So we have received entire 34 crores. This quarter, we booked the interest income to the tune of around 12 odd crores, and the balance is the principal component towards that. So overall, 34 crores comes to the bank, this one, and the interest was 11.39 crores. So everything has been recorded to answer straight on this, yeah?
Okay. Right. There won't be any recognition. I just not finished the question. Can I just finish the question?
Yeah, go ahead.
But, yeah. I'm saying that the next quarter you'll be having some recognition about the tax refund, or there won't be any recognition in the next quarter.
There is no tax refund because whatever order we have received, we have already realized that 34 crores was the thing. We do have some income tax refunds pending with the departments, which is under the process. Still the order has not received. So as and when it's received, we as a process, we keep informing to the stock exchanges, and you will get to know if we receive on that, yeah?
Okay, sure. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. The next question comes from Mallav Desai, an individual investor. Please go ahead.
Hello.
Yeah. Hi, Mallav.
Hi, madam. Thanks. You are back to the black. Thank you very much. My question is that regarding 2 questions. One question is for that your marketing person and 2 senior persons will left the company. Is there any problem with the management or what? That is, one is that Suraj Balachandran and Shankar Rodam. And the second question is, second question is connected to that for the question. That one recruitment from Poonam Wadhwa, marketing person, right?
Correct.
Right. And she is from Camviva Tech Mahindra.
Correct.
And you have joined fair at Copenhagen, that is with Tech Mahindra. Is there any correlation with these companies going to take over Tech Mahindra or like that? Anything like that? Something inside running in the company?
No, Malav, I definitely do not have any insight or anything to that sort. Just to answer your question, first of all, yes, the marketing person had left us, but then Poonam is the replacement. You've got the news already. So
Right.
Poonam has already joined us. So that position is filled. Again, in terms of, Shankar, I think left us, I'm now trying to think, maybe, I think it was Suraj, right? You said Shankar or Suraj? You said Suraj. Okay. So Suraj left us recently, but Suraj was with us for a very long time. There are no issues per se. I think Suraj has been, he was a fantastic employee. He was working for us for a long time. And
yeah, he was with the earlier that 2008 with the company.
Yes. He was there for a long time and he has moved on to do something different right now. So I think he has kind of, left, and this has also been one of the asks, I think, of shareholders repeatedly in many calls that we should be looking at revamping our sales team. We should be looking at, getting different kind and, new energy and fresh blood. So this is also our effort to see if we can, bring people from outside and bring people, who come from, I would say, related industries, but not exactly, people who are really doing the same thing. So this is also our effort to listen to a lot of shareholder feedback, right? We have heard your feedback. And what we are doing is we are also trying to revamp our team to see if, that we get us better results. Obviously, sales is more visible, but you will see that we are trying to make that revamp effort across the board in the company.
Right. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you. The next person comes from Ramesh Pillai, an individual investor. Please go ahead.
Hey, hi. This question is for Sumit. So I just wanted to check the non-operating income kind of reflects 11.4 crores, which you mentioned is from the IT refund. I wanted to check what's happened to the principal amount, while you did mention something to someone who checked earlier, but it is not clear. The second question is, can you please expand on the other income? So there is around 15 crores which is being showcased in the balance sheet. And one last check is for Nisha. Are we still invested in Priva Sapien? Yeah, those are my questions, please.
So quick thing on the interest, let me rephrase myself. So we have received 34 crores as a cash towards the refund amount. 11.39 crore pertains to the interest component, which is shown as a part of the other income, and balance is towards the income tax refundable asset, which is the balance sheet item that has been knocked off. So basically that portion. So obviously you will see we have not reported the balance sheet because this quarter one normally is not a balance sheet quarter for us. So once we publish the H1 result or quarter two results, you will see there's a income tax asset has reduced drastically in the balance sheet, and that is basically a realization of that asset. So that's on the just clarifying on this 34 crore bit. On the other item which you ask about, what are the breakup of other income? So if you might have heard, Nisha has told is what we have done is in our Bangalore office we have did bit of a consolidation. So we used to own 2 floors to that office. So 1 floor we have given up. For that we got some lease termination gain. Okay. That is again routed through a P&L. So 2.6 crore is towards that. So net that is the amount eventually goes as other income apart from our treasury income, which is anyway as a routine so because we have now in balance sheet holding around 135 crores and we have some investment towards the fixed deposits and safe assets. So that gives us the other income. So net, this is the two, I will say is one-off income comes in this quarter. One is the income tax interest component and another is the lease termination gain of 2.6 crores. Yeah.
And,
okay, clear. Thanks.
Yes, we are continued, our investment in Priva Sapien continues right now. So, it's, we think, we are excited about the area that they are in, which is, responsible and privacy and responsible AI. So we believe as a space that's going to become more and more important. So in that sense, we do think that it's a good investment. So we continue to stay invested. We are tracking, how they are doing. So yeah, as and when they kind of, if there is a movement in their end, we'll sort of, come back to shareholders and inform you.
Okay, that's it from my side. Thanks. Best wishes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have any question, please press star and 1 on your telephone keypad. I request the participants to restrict with 2 questions in the initial round and join back the queue for more questions. The next question comes from Abhishek Kale, an individual investor. Please go ahead.
Hey. Hi, guys. Good evening. Am I audible?
Yes, you are. Hi, Abhishek.
Hi. One question. Why don't we see the management owning a piece of the company? I don't see them as shareholders. First, and that gives me zero confidence as an investor. If you remember, in the last quarterly conference call, right, one very senior investor, he kind of alluded to the same fact that the Subex employees themselves are not, and the management. I have a very good feeling that the management doesn't have confidence in their own abilities, and that's why they are not getting into buying the company's stock, right? So that is first question. Second one is, the secretarial order, right? You mentioned that one of the orders, one of the contracts which we walked away from. What is taking so long for us to take the fastest possible route and start recovering the amounts? I mean, I do understand, but these are things which are like, I mean, I had written that off. If you remember my comments, I said that money is gone for us. Technically, I'm accounting that as zero. But you guys sounded like no, we have something at our disposal, the way the contract is framed, so that we can get this amount recovered. What is taking so long?
Well, let me just take the sectorial question first. The thing is that, okay, it is going to take some time, Abhishek. To be honest, it's going to take some time, and we are going to use every tool available in our arsenal. Again, I am unable to quantify, because what we are planning to do is that we have a strategy around recovery. So what we are trying to do is we are going to, we have sent multiple reminders. There is a legal firm also involved. So there is a process that we are following. And, should it come down to that, there might be a lawsuit, there might be some, claims and counterclaims. So this will go into a process, and, as you know, with legal things, we don't know how long it takes, what it takes. So we are trying to see if we can settle it, or, if there is a way that we are able to recover it in a simpler way. But if not, then we will take whatever necessary steps we have to. In fact, we have already taken some steps in that direction. So that's why I'm not able to answer in terms of, is it 1 quarter, is it 2 quarters? It will, and again, this is not a recovery that's India-based recovery, right? It's a different geography. So it might take us some time because we have to now fight a case in that geography. So the law will take its course. We are going to, we have actually done our bit. We have done all the diligence. We have, prepared all the documents. Everything is ready from our side. And it will take the time it takes. Honestly, I don't have a clean answer to that. Yeah, will we be able to wrap it up in 2 quarters? I don't know. But we think that we have a great case, and we think that, this is something that we should pursue. So as board, as management, we are very firm that we will pursue this with all, means available to us. And that's why I was saying that, we do believe some recovery will happen. So that's on the sectorial side. On management owning shares, see, first of all, I think ESOPs, as you can imagine, are designed by the board. It is, a certain design is given, and people have to, subscribe according to that. And it's more or less sort of allocated, right, to every employee that you are allocated X number of shares and all that. And employees exercising and all, it has multiple components, right? Employees exercising shares is basis, their financial situation or what they want to do at that point of time. But again, I can't, and I've always felt that there are many companies where people have never had any shares. In fact, they've never had any ESOP, but they have nonetheless done a fantastic work actually for that company. So I don't think it comes in the way of commitment, honestly, because even personally for me, I have never seen that. I don't think that my commitment to Subex has reduced because
No, you're misquoting
I don't have
me.
shares.
No, Nisha, you're misquoting me. I have not said anything about the commitment of the management. I am saying that this from the perspective of investor confidence. See, when we know, commitment and all that is not visible to us on the outside. You be at my place and tell me if you guys are burning midnight oil, fine, I'm not privy to that, right? But what I get to see from the exchange disclosures is what piece of company you guys are owning, right? And that instills a confidence in me that we are part of the same group, as I would say, and we will mutually benefit. Your hard work, you will get to see more fruits of it, and we as shareholders will also enjoy the benefit. But I'm not able to understand, and that ESOP thing and all the policies can change, right? It's not like it's engraved in stone.
Honestly, there is a nuance here which I am honestly, for lack of better word, I am unable to kind of get into the detail of it. There is a nuance here why this has not happened. But I think what we will do is obviously in current scheme, I think it has expired, so we will be taking an approval for it in the current AGM, upcoming AGM. But this is also a board level discussion, and this shareholder feedback, I have taken it, and I've taken it last time, and I'm hearing you again today. I will take this back to the board because there is some nuance here because of which some of it has not happened, and I will make sure that the board gets to know about, your feedback. I'm unable to get into more details, honestly, but again, rest assured, I understand where you're coming from, the shareholder confidence. I kind of, I'm with you. I don't have any debate on that. But rest assured, please, know that whether we are incentivized in that direction or not, obviously, this is something that the whole management is working very hard. So I wouldn't, say that there is any lack of commitment from our side. Obviously,
again, I'm not saying.
No, I completely agree with you.
I don't doubt your guys' commitment. Okay, I have never said that. You go. Have I said that in this call? No. I am questioning whether they have confidence in their ability. Is what I have said, right?
No. I think again, I think that would be an oversimplification of the problem, which is, to say that because I don't have confidence and hence I am not, honestly, if we didn't have confidence, why should I be here at all, right, doing this job?
Perfect. So then
I think my question would be that
shareholders as well is all I'm asking for.
I agree, Abhishek, and you are not wrong in asking that. But my point is that it's not as simple and straightforward. Where if I just have, and yes, I would be fellow traveler with you if we all had let's say stocks in the company. Then of course we'll be fellow travelers with you. But so it's a little bit more nuanced of why that has not happened. And again, I will take this discussion back to the board and this feedback back to the board. And again, rest assured, we are still fellow travelers with you. So.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate it. And again, I apologize if it came out the wrong way that I'm doubting anybody's commitment.
No, not at all. No, actually, you are all very well within your rights to ask us anything, actually. So. I never take anything. No offense, absolutely taken.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. The next question comes from Imal Kapasi, an individual investor. Please go ahead.
Namaste. Madam, actually,
we are investor in the company for last 10 years, and we have gone through all the ups and downs of the company. Now, if I summarize what has happened in last 4 or 5 years, then say up to 2021, we were having the top line of around 95 crores every quarter. So yearly around 360 crores odd. Okay. Then company came out with a proposal under the directorship of Mr. Vinod that now we are thinking to take our platform on Hypersense, and we will be able to get some more margins and more business with that product. Okay. So Hypersense product was developed. Okay. And if I see the last 3-4 years, all the Concalls, in no point of time company told that there is any loss of customers. Okay. So if we were doing 360 crores top line in 21, and if I see the performance of the company in last 4 years, it is almost 30% down. So whether pricing is wrong, whether we have lost customers and it is not intimated to the conference call meetings, and if whether the management was aware that some contracts are not going to renew, then have they taken exits at higher prices? So what has happened, I am not able to figure out. So you are on the board since 2015. So yes. I would like to have your views that how you see these things, that instead of growth, we are degrowth. And at the same time, people from the even management, all the top management, senior management, ESOP holders, all exited. And in all Concalls, in none of the Concall, the company has said that we have lost a single customer. So how the 30% loss in business has happened with even say whatever product we were like Hypersense platform, we are not able to more margin, not get more margin. At the same time, sales is coming by 30% down. So what has happened actually?
Okay. Okay. So I think a few things have happened, but obviously, let me just try and summarize this. So first of all, Hypersense, when it was launched, right, it was not supposed to be a net new product. So, I mean, it's a net new product. Okay, so Subex had a product suite, right? It used to be called Rock. So Hypersense was supposed to be an upgrade. So what it was supposed to be was that all the customers that had Rock would then get upgraded to Hypersense. So that was the strategy there. It was not that. So Hypersense, essentially, if you look at the capabilities of Hypersense, technically it sort of, feature-wise, I would say it does the same thing that Rock does. But of course, it's an AI-first platform. The architecture is engineering architecture, or the product architecture is much more contemporary. So it has a lot of it's a upgrade, right? It's a higher order vehicle almost. It's almost like you go from a 800 to an Audi, right? So it's almost like that, but both are doing essentially the same thing. You are driving on the same road. So it was more of an upgrade kind of thing. So it's not that you were able to unlock a new market with Hypersense. So we were not unlocking a new market. We were essentially still going to cater to that market. So right now where we are is we have been doing that upgrade cycle. And when Hypersense was launched, and you are right, the revenues have picked up at some point of time. That's because with any new product launch, there is some amount of exuberance in the market. And, we had signed a few contracts. But now where we are is we are again in the same cycle, right? We are going and asking customers to upgrade to Hypersense. They are on AMCs. We have to convert them to MS. So there is a cycle going on there. So in that sense,
Madam, around 90 crores loss in revenue. So we must have lost some big customers.
Again, customers lost.
Otherwise, how much the revenues have come down? Or our product pricing, or our product pricing is actually faulty.
No. I mean, again, see, first of all, Hypersense, again, in terms of churn, right? If I look at overall churn of for Subex in core business, our churn is quite low. It's around 2% or so. It's not more than that. So it's not like we have churned a lot of customers, but yes, you are right. We have lost some along the way in terms of not Hypersense, but let's say that we were doing an MS with someone and they discontinued the MS contract and they tried to insource it. So one of the customers, for instance, insourced it. Again, it did not happen during my tenure, it happened during previous management, but I'm aware that there were some of those things that we lost where a customer said, we didn't lose it to a competitor. We lost it to the customer themselves that said that I will do cheaper MS in-house, my managed services. I don't want your managed services. So we have churned out few customers like that. And as you can imagine, MS and all that is recurring revenue, right? So when we have a loss of MS kind of customer, that shows on our revenue pretty quickly because it's a recovering revenue and the quality of revenue is typically good. So that's the kind of churn that has happened. And you are right, but I wouldn't say that.
But that is not, madam, but that is not disclosed in any Concall. Every Concall, I knew there are many other good investors who have many times cross-checked this, that have we lost any, during this transition to Hypersense, have we lost any deals, have any customers not preferred our products? So at no point of time it was disclosed in Concall that we are losing actually customers. Otherwise, shareholders would have also come to know that we are going to have degrowth. Only some people in the management or senior management knew this. So they took exit timely. And these normal investors, at no point of time, it was every time coming in the quarterly sales, there is no growth or degrowth. And everyone is thinking that if we are not losing customers, then how we are actually, revenue is coming down.
So couple of things, sir. One is, as a part of the investor deck, we do report as an annuity business. In that we show what is our retention rate. So our retention rate is 95%, means obviously you lose 5% of the customer. And it's the normal course of the business, there is always a churn happens. Okay. So that is one piece. Another thing, as Nisha was trying to explain, it's an upgrade cycle which Hypersense is supposed to address. And if you remember some of the previous con calls when we have announced, Hypersense entire model was a subscription-ready model, whereby the revenue did shift. Okay, because our traditional model is there is a license bit, then there is a implementation component, and then there is a AMC to that. And Hypersense entire pricing was a subscription made, whereby customer has to pay a implementation component, and then whatever the license and the AMC is factored as a part of a subscription. Okay. So there is a bit of a change, because any industry which goes with the pricing model change, it will have a reflection to the the revenue, the revenue comes. And that's how, if you see, it is not like revenue has declined past 2 years. It is actually, you can see the revenue decline from last 3 years onward, whereby there is a dip, and obviously there was some cannibalization of revenue happen, not from a telco but non-telco, because some of our sector initiative has started giving some yielding, but it was burning more, and that's how the strategic decision was taken to come out from this market and double down our strategy around on the core. So yes, we all acknowledge there is a degrowth, but the telco, obviously the things are changing, the market is changing, and our new suite of product will eventually come back, and we will get the growth. And basically I will say we are not degrowth. We are holding the thing. At least past like 6-7 quarters, we are holding the telco revenue. Now we are looking some sort of growth will come with all sort of a new product lines around on this. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. We have a follow-up question from Jitendra Buthoria, an individual investor. Please go ahead.
So I would like to know, in the last Concall, you had discussed that, based on the growth prospects of the company would be talking to some investors and, road shows and all, in the third quarter of this year. So are we intact, still focusing on that, or is there any shift on that strategy at the moment? Because we are trying to grow by putting money into the Subex Middle East, and we expect some growth plans to happen as the deal pipeline is strong.
No, actually, we do have plans to do an investor outreach. And in fact, if you remember, we had also discussed an investor day. So that is something that we would still want to kind of pursue. We are trying to figure out what the right time for that is. So either we will end up doing an investor day, or we might, do a roadshow of sorts. Ideally, it should be a combination of both. But that's very much on the mind to do that this year. And I think now that we have some consistent profitability in Q quarters, this would be a good time to actually do.
Because I was waiting for an investor day, that investor day I was very eagerly looking at, So, but it didn't happen.
No, actually we wanted to. In fact, we had also thought of doing it sometime, honestly, around this time. But again, we thought that maybe, we do Q2, and then, as you probably know, that we don't have an IR agency in place. So I think we'll have to also appoint some sort of an IR firm, investor relation firm, and then do it in a more structured way instead of us, the management trying to do it by ourselves. We think we are better off getting an IR firm and, doing it in a more structured and better way. So that's pretty much, no, but it's something that we have been thinking about where to do it. A lot of debate has happened internally. So that's something that we are on. Don't hold me to this promise, but we will most likely end up doing it in Mumbai. So that's sort of, pretty much it's on our radar right now. We are planning for it.
Probably it could happen in the third quarter or fourth quarter, you're saying?
Most likely third quarter. Fourth quarter we will not do. It will be too late. We'll do some point in Q3.
And if you can tell me, what is the quantum of deal spillover, as you have specified, the revenues have been less in this last quarter because of some deal spillovers. So maybe, right now we are already 45 days after in the last quarter, 40 days. So those deals have been closed or still in pipeline?
Actually, again, it's a interesting question because I would say from our perspective, we think of it as closed, but we are again doing some, dotting the i's, crossing the t's. There are places where some, one contract clause is getting negotiated. There is a place where we are waiting for, one PO. So we already have a letter of award, but we are waiting for the PO. So they are in different stages of closure. But I think we don't see any threats to the deals. There is no threat that we are perceiving. It's just, the procedural things that are taking a little bit of time. But yeah. So that's why I said that, we are starting to see momentum now.
So when can we expect your 100 crore per quarter goal target?
We have
been hearing actually.
No, I am also waiting. I mean, this is something that's become my personal, goal and target. It's become my aspiration actually somehow to get to that. So I've been pushing the teams. We are working hard and again,
I could see the management is really working hard, shutting down the loss-making units, focusing on the telco business, and now you have capitalized the Subex Middle East. These steps are in the right direction. I can really see that the steps are in the right direction. I want something from you.
I want to get to a place where I can stand in front of all of you and very happily say that I said I would do it and I've done it. I'm also waiting for that, honestly.
Absolutely, but some indication, where we could think of, although it's a forward-looking statement, but still some expectation, some your internal targets that you will be meeting by say 26, 27 or when?
Again, I don't know. I mean,
What do you think of? Maybe, I'm not holding no commitment.
Saying that don't give forward-looking guidance.
Correct. Absolutely.
Ramu is giving me, staring at me. So don't give forward-looking guidance. But I mean, obviously, we are far from that a little bit. As you can imagine, if I'm sitting at 66 crores or, in that range, I am far from 100 crore right now. But that's not to say that, we won't get there. It's not to say. I think fundamentals have been fixed, as you have also noticed, and, I think most of you have observed that by now. So we were after a major cleanup drive. So I think fundas are fixed. Now we just need to make sure that, we start moving the needle on the top line. So Q1 is obviously always lower. In fact, I would say H1 is, and then our business picks up in, H2. So I'm hoping that I'm still able to do something like that this year. But again, we'll make all effort.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. I request the participants to restrict with 2 questions in the initial round and join back the queue for more questions. The next question comes from Mahesh Kumar, an individual investor. Please go ahead.
Nisha, multiple conference calls you have been mentioning to enter into adjacencies of telecom, like OTT and video on demand and fintech. Is that strategy still on the roadmap? That is first question. Second question, is it possible to give in investor day order funnel, like what Intellect Design Arena has been giving for last 5 years?
Yes. Actually, you have shared that presentation with us, right?
Yeah.
I think, okay, I have seen that presentation. Let me sort of evaluate if we can do that in terms of order funnel. I think in terms of doing adjacencies, we are actually doing adjacencies. We do have contracts with, a lot of telco wallets, telco fintech. We have also done device fraud for e-commerce. We have done fintech. So we do have. So adjacencies are something that are very much a part of our roadmap. It's also a part of our revenue mix. I'm hoping that we grow that pie, but it's something that's very much getting done as we speak. So there is no deviation from that at all.
No, but it is never informed to the exchanges, so we have no idea what is happening.
I guess because these are sort of ongoing. I mean, if you think about it, a lot of it is for business as usual. So sometimes that's why we don't inform stock exchanges. But I'm kind of, if you have any queries, please feel free to write to us. We'll happily tell you, what we are doing. In case we are not informed.
If you are doing some POC with some new customer or some new segment, at least that you should inform to exchanges. Then we don't have to write you email. We will come to know what is happening.
We did a decent job of this time, right? With fraud zap and embedded AI and all that. So I think I wouldn't say Subex is best at doing that, but I think we are doing a decent job now. But again, I think feedback taken. We'll try and do more and more of it. Sometimes, like I said, we don't inform only not because we are not doing that work, just because it's business as usual for us.
See, what is happening? The confidence in the management is very low as on today. So unless you become proactive and share this information on regular basis with the exchanges, we will not come to know what is happening in the company. See, at least new POCs, new segment, all these you should inform, na? And once you reach 100 crore, nobody is going to ask you question again. Unless your credibility is proven, you have to keep informing and bring transparency.
Sure. Agree. Feedback taken. I think we will also, when we have the IR agency in place, we'll also take their feedback and make sure that we enrich the deck, right? We'll make the deck a lot more richer.
Multiple investor calls, you have taken feedback, but no action has happened on that.
No, you can't say that. I started with 3 slides. Now I think I'm down up to 7 or 8 slides in investor deck.
You just have a look at Intellect Design Arena.
I have added more deals. I have actually added, the geography split. I mean, they've been hearing you and sort of, acting on it. So, I think we have been kind of actioning a lot of shareholder feedback. Obviously, you want more, and we'll try and see what more we can do, actually. But any point of time, again, outside of investor deck, which we do only once a quarter, if you have any questions or concerns or, comments, feedback for us, please feel free to write to us and, we'll happily kind of, talk to you.
Okay, at least new segment, new customer, you should inform to exchanges. We will come to know. Like this, your fraud app, you have informed to LinkedIn before informing to stock exchanges.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, it has never informed to fraud zap to stock exchanges in India. First time it has come in the investor presentation.
Fraud zap was, I'm sorry, I'm actually a little bit lost. Ram, did he not inform fraud zap to stock exchanges in India?
Yeah.
We have informed. Yeah, he confirms he has informed.
There is no announcement. You check. Last 1 month there is no announcement. on this?
Okay, this is news to me, honestly, because
No, you see,
our
you go to
goal was
you
to
go to
inform
BSc
fraud that
website.
okay, this
You
is
go to
kind of a
BSc
little bit.
website. You go to
Okay.
BSc website and you see it.
No, in
Actually-
MSc.
Huh?
No, both. Both we have announced. So,
It is not
okay,
there.
I will
Fraud
take
is
that.
not there.
Okay.
Before coming for today's call, I have checked again on the BSc website.
Okay, I don't know how that was missed, but honestly, our effort was to do both fraud trap and embedded AI for both exchanges.
Embedded AI has come, that I have read. Now I have sent you email also on that.
Correct.
Fraud app has not come.
Okay.
That is actually violation of listing guidelines.
Okay. I'll get to the bottom of this because my understanding was that this has been done, but thanks for flagging it. Let me just talk to Banu and get that. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. We have a follow-up question from Abhishek Kale, an individual investor. Please go ahead.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes. Hi, Abhishek. Hi.
Hey, Mahesh, check the 36 announcement on NSC. Fraud app is there.
Oh, yeah, it's there. I just saw it. In fact, I was Googling as 20%. Yeah.
Okay.
26
Okay.
Yeah, it's there, Mahesh.
Yeah. So Nisha, coming back, see, what percentage of our employees right now are working on POCs? Ballpark.
I don't have a percentage for you, but I would be hard pressed to, say that it would never be beyond, I think, 5% or so.
Okay. And what is the amount of our top line we are flowing back in doing research? Because we have to be, like you said, with new things coming up in fraud, you have to be ahead of the game, right? So what is the amount we are putting back in research, R&D spend?
So our R&D spend typically, again, I think I'll have to come back to you with an exact, but it's a double digit. It's about, I think 15%, yes. 15% is our R&D spend.
About 10 crores in this quarter, right?
This quarter, I can come back to you, but I know on the average we spend 15%.
Annualized 15%, this quarter maybe here and there, but yeah.
Annualized we do 15% or so, and we are also actually setting up an innovation lab specifically for fraud. So just to make sure that, we are doing a lot of R&D on the new and upcoming frauds and the way that you will solve them, right? Because we are also seeing a lot of innovative ways people are solving for this. So we are also setting up our own lab, which is likely going to be outside of India. So we are trying to do some of that.
Okay. One more thing. The couple of deals that you said got spilled. We had a spillover, right, from Q1 to Q2. Any ballpark number as to what we are looking at in terms of the deal size?
There are some big deals actually. There are one or two significant deals that we will announce once we are able to close the, like I said, dot the i's process. We'll announce to the stock market. So one or two of those are actually big and significant deals. Again, I think it's not moved to Q. Again, it's a matter of opinion, but I think from our perspective, we feel a lot of the effort was already done in Q1. We are just, doing some administrative formalities right now. The number of deals, if I were to speak in terms of numbers, I would say it's about 5 or 6. Thereabouts.
Okay. If I may squeeze in one more question, please.
Sure.
Yeah. See, I've been following the company on LinkedIn, right? You guys, whenever you have a POC or something significant to make an announcement for, right? You list it out on LinkedIn and it's all there. But what I feel is in the present environment, see, nobody is going to take money out of their pocket and pay us. People are, as is the company, they would not like to make an extra spend. nice to have. These are some things that are nice to have, right? What if we get into a discussion with our client, the existing client, wherein we do not have, say, a product app installation, right? And we go and tell them upfront that, guys, if you implement this, right, or I will put in some money in trying to implement it, that is my capital going into it, and or I would use the term sweat money for the lack of better term. I'm going to put in my sweat equity, and whatever savings that you guys realize, say because of those petty calls not congesting the network and the teleco saving X dollars, right? So that would be something proactive wherein we are now testing our solution, and then if the customer is realizing benefits from it, I mean, it is like a live lab that we have got our hands in, right?
Yeah, so you mean gain share kind of agreements, right? I mean, we kind of
I'm not familiar with that term, so pardon me for my ignorance.
Yeah, so it would be like a value share, gain share kind of agreement.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. No, that's something that we do pursue, which is typically what we do is that we say that, give me a certain amount of retainer to deploy my model. And then, whatever you save, I take a percentage out of that. So, gain shares and all that, they are pretty much, it's a part of our playbook. It's a part of the playbook of how we go to market. We don't do it for every contract, but obviously, as you can imagine that gain share contracts you have to be careful about, in the sense that you should not have, your overall revenue exposure on gain share should not exceed a certain percentage. So we kind of keep an eye on that, but it's a part of very much a part of our playbook, Abhishek.
Right. But Nisha, the reason I'm saying this is, at this point in time, our new products, I mean, say Fraud App, we have just launched Fraud App, 1.5 months old, if I were to use that.
That's correct.
Say I get that tested in the live environment, and even if I have to make a spend on it, I as a company has to make a spend on it, right? What's the harm in doing so? Because see, very fast I will realize where I'm going wrong, or the customer realizes that there is real value in this product. Whatever, I mean, it can go both ways, right? One is a learning for us and the other is a revenue for us. Right? The sooner we do that, agile methodology, right? The sooner.
But Abhishek, in Fraud App, we are seeing a commercial pull for the product actually. So
Point
they
taken.
are willing to pay money. In fact, I would say there is no POC also required per se. So we are seeing there is a
Fraud App. I mean, I just took an example of Fraud App.
No, I agree with you. I agree with you. I think that's sound advice. When it comes to trying to put our products faster into the market, then that playbook will be useful. You're right about that.
Thank you. That is all from my side.
One additional point, Abhishek, is where the environment or technology is a bit uncertain. For example, in AI agents, we have actually done that today. So as we speak, the agents are investigating fraud and tier 1 telcos, and there we have done exactly what you said. So we worked with them and said, we will deploy, we will put the infrastructure, we need real on-the-ground feedback, and we want also humans to investigate so that we have very good data to compare, how our agents is performing vis-a-vis the humans, so that our business case also becomes solidified. So in that particular scenario, we are exactly doing what you are suggesting.
Okay. So I'm saying, if there is an opportunity, because I'm not privy to every installation that we have, right? Mm-hmm. So if there is an opportunity that we can explore, see, right now we are, in one sense, if I were to look at Harsha, is the top line has become a challenge for us, right? I have people who are extremely talented. I, as in Subex, have people who are extremely talented. We have a solution which we think is a great fit, right? Let's deploy. I mean, let's take the cost. That would be my R&D spend. Why spend that innovation lab in-house? Why not go take it to the customer, do it at the customer side, and if we see the savings, we do the gain share. I mean, just a
yes. Point taken.
Okay.
Point taken. And actually, like I said, in certain areas we already started, but point taken. I think we can kind of broaden this.
Thank you. Thank you, Harsha.
Thank you. That would be the last question for the day. Now I hand over the floor to management for closing comments.
Yeah, thank you. So thank you all again, for joining us today. Again, like I said, your questions and feedback keep us sharp. We have noted some of the feedback. We'll take it back and process it with the management and with the board as appropriate. I am acutely aware of the challenges of the company and your frustrations as well. Believe me, so we are working very hard on getting growth back on track. We have delivered on the bottom line, which we will continue to sort of, make sure that we have diligence on that aspect. Top line, we will, do our very best to ensure that we come back on track. I think we are getting back on track, but again, delivery of it will matter to you. So that's something that, I've heard you loud and clear. So I think, we'll work on that. And hopefully, we'll do better quarters as we go forward in the year. Thank you again for staying with us, keeping us sharp. And as always, if you didn't get to ask your question today, please write to us. We'll be happy to answer your question at any point of time. Thank you, and I will see you next quarter. Bye-bye.
Thank you, ma'am. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes your conference call for today. Thank you for your participation and for using Doorsabha's conference call service. You may disconnect your lines now. Thank you and have a good day.